All right, so we're on page 161. We're at the bottom with the self-test, and we're going over problems 1 through 6. So take the time to work those out, then keep playing this video. Number 1 is 44. Number 2 is 58. Number 3 is 6. Number 4, negative 1,885. And number 5, negative 8 1/3 or negative 25 thirds. Okay, so I need help on the number 5 because I want to make sure we know how to do this. So, Rosalind, can you read me the problem, please? Equals 18. All right. So here, what's the process you're taking to figure out what x is? You have to look at x and ask yourself what? What is happening to x? So what's happening to x first? It's being multiplied by negative 3 and then subtracting 7. So what do you have to deal with first? So what do you do to both sides? Add 7 to both sides. You should get negative 3x equals 25. All right, now what do you do to both sides? If it's still being multiplied, you divide by negative 3. And if this is a simplified fraction, x, if that's as simple as can be, you can write it negative 25 thirds. But I have a question here. You see how in my work I have divided by negative 3, and then suddenly I did negative 25 divided by 3. Is that allowed? I just moved that negative sign to the numerator instead of the denominator. Is that really allowed? Why, Matt? Because it looks different to me. Ready, guys? What's a positive divided by a negative? Negative. What's a negative divided by a positive? Negative. And is there one other way to write this fraction and still be correct? So I had the negative sign in the denominator, or the negative sign in the numerator, or, Nate? Yeah, I'll try to put it in the middle as best I can. Like that. They're all the same thing. All worth the same amount. Because a negative divided by a positive or a positive divided by a negative is negative. So that's our answer. And you can put negative 8 1/3. Okay, number 6. What's your answer for number 6? Carrick, what'd you get?
I got 25.
So m equals 25 is correct. How many of you got that? M equals 25? Okay, I had a good question from the last class, and it's from someone who wasn't there for the lesson, so it was an understandable question. But number 6 and 5, do you always add and subtract as your first step? What do you guys think? No, so I see a lot of not, shaking heads like, why not? I mean, the first one we did. So, Jack, what do you think?
Well, you do it if there's no division. So if there's a division mark with another problem on the numerator,
Okay.
and then one number on the denominator, then you would multiply.
You would multiply before you would add or subtract, right? You want to add to that?
No. I'm just asking. For number 6, would you just go 5 times 4 is 20, and then you add 5?
Yeah.
Isn't that don't you start by adding 5 instead of...
So this problem right here?
Yeah.
Okay, good question. So do we start by adding 5 or do we do something else? So look at what's happening to m. What's happening to m first? It's being subtracted by 5 and then divided by 4. So you have to deal with the division. You got to do multiply by 4. You get 20 equals m minus 5. Now, I wrote this down here, and most of you did that, but how can I just go from this to this? I mean, what happened to those 4s? Oh, this numerator 4 cancel this denominator 4. All right, and then last step is to add 5 to both sides, and you get your 25 equals m, or m equals 25. 25 equals m, and m equals 25. Are they the same thing?
No.
Okay, which property says that's allowed? I'll give you a hint.
Distributive comparison. Associative
You know how the doctor hits you with that little
Reflexive
property. A reflexive property is this, ready? If m equals 25, automatically 25 equals m, right? This is a reflexive automatic property. Okay, but anyway, you could have had either one. All right, number 7. I need some help on number 7. Somebody tell me what their equation was before they worked it out. So what's your equation? Yes, ma'am? 23 minus x equals 42. All right, you can use any variable, by the way. X is a fine one to use here. This is where people get messed up. So, Brian, what would you do here on this problem first? Subtract 23. Subtract 23 from both sides. Okay, that looks good. Somebody tell me what's left on the left side. What's left? You got to be precise. Yes, sir?
Negative x.
Negative x. That negative sign didn't just go away. And then what's 42 minus 23 is 19.
Wait, do you switch them over? Negative x equals negative 19?
What do you think?
Yeah.
Because that's what I got. Well, I hope that's what you got, because that's it. Yeah, make sure you lay those in before or after class. Go ahead. Carrick, I have an answer to that. The answer was you were trying.
No, he did.
Or he was trying. Trying. Okay. Anyway, this is a 2-step problem. What was my first step? We already got it. What is it? Subtract 23. What was the second step? It wasn't just look at it and change it. There's actually something going on here from this step to this step. What's that? And you can put it in 2 ways.
Multiply by -1.
You multiply both sides by -1, or there's another one. Or
One could just say that, like, since he divided them.
you divide it by -1. If you divide both sides by -1, it changes signs. If you multiply by -1, you change the signs. Do you guys remember inequalities? What switches the inequality sign? When you multiply or divide by a negative. Yep. So in this case, it's not going to change it, but it will later on. Yes, sir?
Well, didn't you just say that since it's asking for positive x, just change it, because then they would have to switch it around?
Yeah, and that's what we did, right? We just kind of changed it, but we did something to it. We multiplied both sides or divide both sides by -1, and that's because of the inequalities. Remember, if you multiply or divide both sides by negative, it switches the sign, and that's going to be more of an effect. All right, your favorite one, number 9. Question, man, before we get going? No, you didn't have to do 8. All right, number 9. Okay, Rosalind, what does it say to find in number 9? 2 consecutive even integers. What's the first one going to be? Well, just like every other, it's going to be n. What's the second one? N plus 2. All right, so I'm trying to find these 2 values. What do I know about these 2 consecutive integers? They have to be what? Something to get something.
Consecutive.
They have to be consecutive, which is right here. But what about these 2 consecutive even integers?
They have to add up.
There you go.
Sum.
Yeah, they have to add up to be, that's the word sum. Yeah, 126. So here's my equation. And this is leading us into the next lesson we're going to look at this afternoon. Before I start adding, subtracting, dividing, or whatever, I got to make it simple. So is this simple? No. What do I do to get this simple?
2n.
Yeah, we get 2n plus 2 equals 126. All right, first step. Or do you have a question, Claire?
I do. Is this lesson on the quiz? Or
Yes, I might give 1 or 2 on this. Okay, what do I do here first?
subtract.
What?
2.
Subtract 2 from both sides. I'm left with 2n equals 1, 2, 4. Next step, divide by 2, n equals 62. That's my answer.
No.
What? That's n equals 62. 62 and 64. That's the next consecutive integer. Even integer. All right, listen up, guys. What did they ask me in this problem? They said, find two consecutive even integers whose sum is 126. Do those two numbers add up to be 126?
Yes.
In fact, they're the only two consecutive even integers that can ever do that. Are there any two consecutive even integers that can give me 126 added together? That's the only two. There are only two answers. Okay, so it's unique. You all right, boys? Okay. All right. I'm going to give you more practice here to help you out, and I'll have you guys come up to the board and show me some work. So, no. Page 762. Sorry, no time for a review game. 762. 762. Yeah, way back there.
We need to have one.
Yes, I put right
For
to
a
it.
prize.
Good job, Karen. You're earning free McDonald's.
I want to drink.
All right. I'm going to give you a few problems from here, and I want you to work them out, and then I'll call on some of you to come up and work them out. Okay, 762. Do you see that has lessons 3-1 all the way to 3-3? That's a great page to study for your quiz. Okay, let's start with an easy one. Number 17 on 3-1. 3-1, number 17. 3-1, number 17. Go ahead and work that one out. We're just starting up with a warm-up here. Okay. Let's see. Whose hand do I see? See that hand. See that hand. See those hands. And if I don't see it, Swivl does.
What? How? Did you put this
Technically, yes. Okay, I will go with. I keep hearing Jackson. Come on down, Jackson.
All the time.
I don't know. I just kept hearing Jackson. So I was like, Jackson, come on up. All right, go ahead. Show it neatly, please. As neatly as you can.
Do you really think I can write neatly?
Yes, you can. I've seen it.
Yeah, Kate.
So I don't know what's going on, but I would say if we find out it's not proper, we will fix that. So please make sure you're talking appropriately. Hey, I like that. I can see what he's doing. And as he's doing that there, honestly, I think a lot of our handwriting can improve by just going just a bit slower. Now, some may need to go slower than others, but yeah, a bit slow is really the idea. For dramatic effect, Jackson is going at a good pace. Oh, I remember I told him to stop.
Oh, is that videotaping?
No, it is.
Yes.
No, but I told him to stop moving.
Oh, you can do tricks. Oh. Forgot
There you go. 5th time's the charm there. All right, thank you, Jackson.
All right, children, what have we learned today?
How many got 64.141?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you do to both sides? You add 4.361, and then you get 64.141. All right, listen up. Swivl, come here. What I want you guys to do is I want you to work out on lesson 3-2. I want you to do number... Okay, I'm going to drop down the intensity because that was a little bit rough. Number 15. 15, 3-2, yes. Wait, no decimals. That makes it easier, right? Not on number 15. On 3-2. Mm-hmm. Okay, and in just a moment, I'm going to have someone come up and show me what they're doing here. Mm-hmm. So you changed it, and then oh, are you getting a common denominator? When you're multiplying or dividing, do you get common denominator? Yeah, don't get common denominators. You just want to multiply across, or you can cancel out, or you can. That'll help the math be easier. Right?
This is a rare occasion. Me raising my hand to do something like that.
Oh, you want? Yes, I see that hand, Abby. Come on up and show me what you're doing. No. Whenever you have a fraction being multiplied, change it to improper. You don't have to get common denominators when you're multiplying or adding. All right, listen up. Hey, boys, if you want to stay where you're seated, then I would recommend you keep it. Okay. Okay, 5/14. Good. So listen carefully, guys. That's a good answer. When you have that 1 3/4 or negative 1 3/4, you want to undo it. There are two ways to undo that. You either divide both sides by negative 1 3/4, or you multiply by its reciprocal, which is negative 4/7. That will cancel those out, and you do one side, you do to the other. And then, before you multiply, what can you do? Yeah, so you can cancel that out, and then you'd be left with your 5/14s like you got, Abby. Thank you very much. Possibly. Okay, let's look at 3-3. Go with number 9. Number 9 on 3-3 at the bottom of page 762. Number 9.
9.
So what I'm going to have somebody do is they're going to work out the first step, and then somebody else is going to do the second step. So one step per person.
Oh, did you turn it off?
No.
Oh.
All right, Carson, come on up, do the first step. And then second step will be, yes, I see that hand. Zooming in here. Harrison, you'll do the second step. All right. You've been selected.
Oh, now you're going too fast.
You have to upload this video. He's obviously not dumb.
Okay, he did something to that equation. What did he do that was okay to do?
Well, he messed it all up.
Wait, is everyone
Going
coming
too
back
fast.
from GMC? Is everyone coming back from GMC?
No! This was a fun class. Dr. Matt Puzzle, right?
So once you write that part, we're going to have someone else do the next part. So once you get that.
Yep, sorry, sad. Trash.
Very good, Carson. All right, Harrison, come finish this off.
Wow, I actually just scored 3.
Slow down, you're going too fast.
Now you have a holster back to your shirt.
What is that?
What is that?
Oh. So listen, what that tells you is like, if you can't handle coming up here, I probably can't call on you again. Okay, that's a -1, I'm guessing. So x equals -1, which wasn't much better, unfortunately. -1 is your answer. This was number 9 on 3-3. How many of you got -1 on this one? Okay, I'm going to give you a slightly tougher one. On that same one,
-8.
you subtract 8 from both sides,
Yeah.
and then you get 3x equals -3. Number 9 on 3-3. I think you're looking at number 6. That's all right. That's all right. Okay. Everyone, go ahead and do number. No, that's too tough.
12.
7, 15.
8.
19. Thank you for all those suggestions. 3-3, number 19.
9.
All right. Last warning here. If we get too goofy on these problems or before the problems, you will stay during break. Yes. Yes, that's what you have to start with.
Yes.
Yeah, if you get it, good, but save it until we get done with all of it. Okay, we'll go here. Rosalind, you're going to do the first step. And then Claire, you'll do the second step. And then
Claire.
Matt, you'll do the third step. 3 steps.
He's got ice in his veins.
So, did I say Rosalind first? Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can come on up. Then Claire, then Matt. And again, remember, save your comments because we're trying to get through this. I'm trying to help you out for your quiz. So she has 4n minus 8 equals -24. Okay, next step, Claire. Thank you, Claire. All right, Matt, finish it off, please. Last one here. Don't leave yet, guys. Last one.
Is it negative 4?
Yeah, she's right down there. This is where they're at.
So.
I just add 8 now.
No, they already added 8. So yeah, she added 8, and this is what you're left with.
So 0.
Mr. Clean.
Sorry, boys, I didn't dismiss. Take a seat or stay during break. Make up that time. Hold on just a moment. Oh, you're in here? Sorry. Well, Turner, you can take off because we're down here. You had to divide both sides by 4. So you get n equals negative 4. All right, who got n equals negative 4?
Yep.
Okay, listen up, boys. And I'm going to turn